अस्सलाम वालेकुम पाकिस्तानीज़ इन एलन सब मेंबर्स कैसे हैं आप लोग? ठीक-ठाक हैं? उम्मीद है आप लोग खैरियत से होंगे और आपने काफ़ी अच्छा वीकेंड एन्जॉय किया होगा। जैसे कि मैं इस वीकेंड से पहले आप लोगों से वादा किया था कि इस दफ़ा मेरी बड़ी स्पेशल गेस्ट आएँगी। जो मेरी गेस्ट हैं वो एक छोटी-सी बच्ची हैं। शी इज़ जस्ट आई थिंक 12 और 13 इयर्स ओल्ड। फ़कीमा शी इज़ अ बोर्न आर्टिस्ट। बचपन से इनको स्केचिंग और पेंटिंग का शौक था। And she started, I think, at the age of like when she was just in KG, she started playing with the dry colors, and she ended up being a really true artist. So हम सीधा उनके पास जाते हैं. Let's see what she say about it, and we're going to talk to her about her experience. Hi, Fakhima, how are you? Hello, Fakhima, can you hear me? Hello, Fakhima, I think I lost you. Fakhima, can you hear me? I think we lost her for a second. Let her rejoin. And as I said, like she's a very young and talented, 12 years old. I've seen her work. Her work is really nice, and I'm just waiting for her to rejoin. Meantime, just I will tell you my experience over the weekend, what I did over the weekend. मेरा वीकेंड बड़ा मज़ेदार था. हम लोगों ने इस दफ़ा जुमेरात से हम लोगों ने बारबेक्यू से स्टार्ट किया. हमने ठंडे मौसम को प्रॉपर्ली एंजॉय किया और वहाँ से हम लोग प्रोसीड करते करते हम लोग जो है ना हम लोग जुमे को चले गए अलेन सफारी पार्क. वहाँ पे हम लोगों ने जो डेल सफारी पार्क है हम लोग ने ये बी हाइव डोम्स और इन सब जगहों पे काफ़ी मूव करते रहे और that was like a wonderful trip, and that's what we did. Friday ago, I explored the new park as well, this Yahar Park. So it was an amazing weekend for me. Just waiting for her to rejoin. I think she lost the connection in between because this is something happened in between. I'm just telling her how to come. Here she is. Hi, Fakhima. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing fine.
Sorry, I think we lost a connection in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Fakhima, can you introduce yourself and tell us more about you? I've tried to give some, your introduction, but I don't think that I've done the justice to your hard work.
Yeah. My name is Fakhima Qayyum. I am 13, turning 14 this year. I started 8th grade. I I was born in Pakistan and came to Dubai when I was 2 years old, and then moved to Alain a while after that. My mom is a doctor, specifically a pediatrician, and my dad is an electrical engineer.
That's great, Fakhima. So Fakhima, when you realize that you're an artist, or when you started your like, you get into arts because usually kids are more into the like, especially girls, they're more into dolls, playing other things, and people never take these things really seriously. So when you thought or when you learned that there's a passion for within yourself to be an artist and you can do the painting, you can do the drawing, when you realize it, or it was something like you were doing from your childhood, how it developed?
Uh, when I was a child, I was doing it for fun, but until like 5th or 4th grade, my art teacher really got me into painting and sketching, and I also used to be in the art club that I joined in like 6th grade, and she got me into painting, and I really liked watercolor. And then I wanted to progress more in painting, and then I got into acrylics, and now I'm doing oil.
That's great. That's great. So, do you have any favorite artist or something like you got inspired by some work and you thought that you wanted to be something like him or her, or how it came into you?
I look up to my art teacher a lot. She's always taught me from the very beginning, and I owe her a lot. Uh, I really look up to just general arts in general, because behind every piece of art, there's always someone who's working hard and has a passion for it.
So, what's your future plans like? Do you really see yourself to be an artist in the future? We can see that we have a new Leonardo being
Uh,
built in. new Michelangelo or something, or what?
I want to be a lawyer, but I'm still young, so I'm not 100% onto that decision, but I'm considering it. I have thoughts about being an architect because I want to include art in my job somehow. So,
Got
and
you.
I find it.
Got your point. But when you say that you are planning to be a lawyer, isn't this a major twist? An artist person who's putting colors in everywhere, then you want
I'm
to go to a
also
very serious profession?
I'm also into reading and forensics and like criminal law. So I've always considered law an option because as much as I'm interested in art, I'm also interested in debating and talking in court, and I find it very interesting.
That's good. So who's your favorite author? What kind of books you read most?
Uh, Even I read a lot of like the Hunger Games series. It's one of my favorite series of um, all time. It's Stephen King is a really big author, and his books are and he writes really well, and the story he creates are um, stories that are designed to last a long time, and he made like movies out of his books, and I find him really inspiring.
That's great. That's great. Got it. So Fatima, can you show us a little bit of your artwork which you've done recently so
Uh,
that we can show it to
yeah,
your show? That would be great.
this is one of my first acrylic paintings.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a sunrise, but the lighting makes it difficult to see. Uh,
Okay.
mm, I made it right after I got home from art class. Um,
Okay.
my parents got me it's a small canvas. My parents got me the small canvas and some paints, and I've kept it.
That's great. That's great.
This is my first watercolor portrait.
Wow, that looks really nice.
Yeah, it's one of my first portrait paintings.
Mm,
And I like to look back on it to see how far I've progressed from, well, because I think my my like skills have gotten better and more. I think professional is the word.
that's great. That's great. What was you in mind when you were making this picture, by the way, about this lady? Any
What
person
was it?
you had in
I was just
what
trying
any?
to do my best. I was just trying to do my best because I really wanted to make paintings out of imagination, and I just had a hard passion. I also do a lot
Okay.
of sketching.
Okay. Can you show us some?
This is made very recently.
Can
It's
you please keep it in front of camera? Wow, that's nice. Who's
I
she,
really
by the
like
way?
to work with. Hmm?
Who's she? It's just a random sketch, or
I
you
think
have
it's a
some?
famous singer or something. I found the image from one of my friends. I really like to work with charcoal and to see how far I can progress my abilities. So it's interesting
Mm,
to do charcoal and shading and just to practice it in general.
that's great. That's great. Do you have anything else to show to us?
I do. Wait, it's big, but this is probably one of my first oil paintings, and
Mm,
it's from a poster of a musical that I really liked called Amelie. It's a French musical that came into Broadway, and I really liked the poster, and it was just something about the um, I wanted to test my skills and see if I could do it on watercolor and see how hard oil can be.
That's great. But then, Fatima, you've done really a good job because I'm one of the persons who appreciate art, and I can tell you that's not that easy how it looks, and it's really very neatly and very well done job. Uh, that's nice. Is it?
This is an acrylic painting.
Mhm.
I've never. I think this is like one of the first ones I've done on a acrylic on a bigger canvas, and it
Mhm.
was very interesting. It's supposed to be like a lavender field, but this my skill at the time was not as good as now. But I really liked the like calm feeling of the picture, and I wanted to put that on paint.
That's great. It's a really beautiful one. What I've seen is that most of your pictures they feature ladies and girls, and
Uh,
I haven't seen any
yeah.
guys in your pictures.
Uh, well, it's another. This one I really liked a lot. This is when I. It's hard to see on the camera.
Mm-hmm. That's really nice.
This is when
Can you
I.
put it more in front of the camera? Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really nice one.
This
Yeah.
is another acrylic painting. It's a portrait acrylic, and I really like this painting. I've hung it up in my room, and
No,
yeah.
it's really beautifully done. Yeah.
Mhm. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
this painting is when I really got into history. I found this old medieval picture, and I tried to modernize it a little. I really like the aesthetic of it in general, even though it's a little patchy and not as good. I really like the calmness and the um, nostalgia of it.
Okay, that's really nice.
This is this is a landscape painting. This is
Yeah,
older than the other ones. I
yeah.
think it's also acrylic. Um, it's when I started to experiment with landscape a lot. It's not as good, but um, I really wanted to paint the Faisal Mosque because when I was a kid, we always used to go to Murray, and we would like pass by this mosque, and I always remembered it.
Okay, so at least it's connects you back to your hometown.
Yeah, there's some connections.
Yeah.
Okay. This I think this painting I made after it's hard to see on camera. But this painting I made after we got a school assignment, an art assignment, and I really
Mm-hmm.
liked the idea that the teacher gave us. So I
Mm-hmm.
tried to experiment a little with acrylic and portraits, and
Okay,
uh, yeah.
so that's perfect. And I just put you on a solo layout so that people can see it more clearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
This picture is a London bus. A couple of years ago, we went on a family holiday to London, and
Mm-hmm.
we always saw these buses. Um, so I always remember them. It's a little unfinished, but I liked that it's cut off. It lives like a story.
That's great. Very nice work.
I think nearly that's about it. Nearly.
That's great. That's great. So Fatima, basically, from where you learned it, like you literally took as you told that you had a teacher, so she's the one who taught you all these kind of artwork or stuff, or how you took it.
She got me into artwork. She taught me about watercolors, and then like she gave me ideas, and then I progressed further by I got really interested into it. I got really interested into it. So I went on YouTube and just like Google tutorials. It's really easy to find because it's a new age of technology, and you can just search it. There are multiple tutorials. I don't remember which ones, but um, yeah, they're
So I
very easy
can
to find.
got your point. So I
I
can say
learned
that you are
oil
self-taught
from
one.
I learned oil from just watching people use mediums, and painting on canvas and their techniques. I learned it from learned it from watching them.
That's great. That's great. So, will you show us some of your painting skills? I can see that there's a canvas behind
Yeah,
you. I think you can paint on it, right?
yeah, I can. It's an
And
oil paint.
that's great. And you can talk while painting, or you are like a very serious artist who don't want to talk while painting?
I It's easier for me to be quiet, but I can talk while painting because usually when I'm painting, I'm
I understand.
very
You know,
silent, but I can talk.
no, you can paint yourself. I will give the commentary. You don't need to reply back much. By the way, before proceeding, can you just give a little bit introduction to the equipment, like what all is required for a
Yeah, I'm
painter?
using. First of all, I'm using the oil mediums, which are really important because oil paint is very thick, and
Hmm.
to thin it out, you have to use special mediums and solvents. And then I'm using a size 4 brush with um, a size 2 and a size 6 because I find those the easiest. And then I'm using a 40 by 50 canvas and a palette with brown paints, a skin tone paint, and red and blue.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Can you tell a little bit about this painting, what you're actually going to draw before starting it off?
I already started it off, but it's just gonna be an old woman with a crow perched on her shoulder.
Okay. So viewers, you can see her doing live painting. Um, as you never disturb the artist while doing his or her work, so we'll try our best not to disturb Fakhima as much as we can. As she told us she's going to draw a old lady. Let's see how it comes out, and you can see some live skills. And she's using oil paint, sorry, and as she told that you need solvents and all those things to make sure that they are not as thick as they are by default. And she's using a canvas to paint on top of it. By the way, those who don't know about oil paintings, I just want to add a little bit to your knowledge that the oldest known oil painting which was ever discovered was discovered in 7th century. That's what they say, that it's dated back to the 7th century, and it was done by the Buddhist artist in Afghanistan, which is just across the border to Pakistan. So you can say that first ever known oil painting was being found from Afghanistan in 7th century. It was being very popular in Europe when it comes to the 12th century, and this is how it grew up in Europe. And as you know, that the Europe, especially certain countries within Europe, they are the center of the art and culture. So this is from where it progressed further. And by the way, that painting, which was discovered in 7th century, was somewhat dated back to 650 AD. So that's what they say. Originally, all the oil paintings used to be on the wooden panels, but later on, in the mid of the 15th century, they started using canvas because it was cheaper and easier to transport as well. It seems that there are a lot of famous artists from Europe who have done a lot of oil paintings historically. I don't know if you have seen many, but one of the my favorites was the Twilight of the Venus. I've, I will try to show it after the live session till the time Fakhima is drawing the painting. That was one of my favorites. But the most interesting fact for all of you is that the home of the oil painting is not Europe. It's first time which it was discovered in Afghanistan by the Buddhist artists who were doing it in around 7th century AD. So that's, I think, a big takeaway for everyone here because people always, whenever it comes to art and culture, we think that it's something which is derived from the Europe. So just to tell you that it's from Afghanistan originally. By the way, just to tell you people about oil paints, it's not something which dries. Actually, it hardens due to oxidation process. So usually people think that the painting will dry. No, it will not dry. It will harden. And there are certain kind of paints. It might even take years for the oil paint to be fully hardened. Usually, it takes a couple of weeks and sometime 6 months. That's how long the period for hardening is. By the way, when they were being used in Afghanistan, they were also used to decorate the shields as well. Before before oil paints were introduced in Europe, the Europeans used to use an art which was based on egg tempera. By the way, it's just like a couple of years back that people started to find these colors easily, and they can just buy these colors and start doing the paints. Before 19th century, usually the artists studios look like more like a laboratory because they have to grind the pigments, they have to boil the oil and use to extract, and you need to use exact formulas to create oil paint. So the good part is that Fatima is not in that age and she is enjoying the colors and everything which is readily available in the market. Actually, just to add, 1841 was the first year when oil paints were available readily pre-mixed, ready to use. So before that, the artists have to really work hard to build a single painting. Yes, Ishan Sheikh, it's really impressive way. You're right. I really appreciate her work and patience. I'm not trying to speak to her to ensure that she don't lose her concentration while doing the artwork. Until 1841, usually the paints which were used for the oil painting used to be stored in animal bladders or the animal skins. Um, Fatima, if the camera can be adjusted a little bit on your canvas, no, it's fine. Thank you very much. It's fine.
Yes.
Yeah, it's perfect now. Thank you. It's perfect. It's perfect. Uh, those who don't know much about oil painting, I just want to tell you the famous painting Mona Lisa, which was being painted by Leonardo, was one of the examples of an oil paint. So Fatima, you get all the support from your parents for your passion, or they sometimes get irritated that you're spending too much time on these paintings and stuff?
No, it keeps me busy, so it helps.
It helps. That's great. ये जो लोग कमेंट कर रहे हैं, ये अगर प्लीज स्ट्रीम यार्ड को ऑथराइज कर लें कमेंट करने से पहले, तो उनका नाम भी मैं देख सकता हूँ, क्योंकि मेरे पास ये एज अ फेसबुक यूजर आ रहे हैं. Uh, and Mr. Kajum, I think the light is more on the canvas. We cannot see the canvas in the, yeah, we cannot see, yeah, now we can see the painting. Now we can see the face. Thank you. Yeah, we can see it now. So, Mr. Kajum, how you see the passion of your daughter, by the way?
Yes, it's really, I support her all the time. My wife also support her all the time. And we are very happy with her skills and with the quality of work. MashaAllah, she is improving. She is learning on a daily basis, you can say.
तो
And
कजूम साहब, तो आप बेसिकली आप लोग पाकिस्तान से किधर से हैं जहाँ से आप लोग आए हैं, और आप इसको वैसे कैसे इनकरेज करते हैं, क्योंकि ज़्यादातर आपको पता है कि हमारे पेरेंट्स या ट्रेडिशनली हम लोग यही सोचते हैं कि बच्चा या डॉक्टर बन जाए या इंजीनियर बन जाए.
ये ऐसे ही
आर्ट
होता
इज
है हमारी जी. मैं बेसिकली, इनकी जो मदर है वो इस्लामाबाद से है, मैं बेसिकली गुजरांवाला से हूँ, हाफिजाबाद से. लेकिन अभी 20 साल हो गए इस्लामाबाद रहते हुए. तो हमारा हकीकत बात है यही था कि बच्चे डॉक्टर बने, इंजीनियर बने, जो एक ट्रेडिशनल सा होता है. लेकिन इसने अपनी ये क्वालिटीज अपनी शो करना शुरू कर दी. उसके बाद हमने सोचा कि ठीक है, फिर इफ शी इज डूइंग वेल, और अगर यही जो इसका पैशन है यही इसका प्रोफेशन बन जाए तो इट्स गुड. बट साथ साथ में भी शी इज वेरी एट वेरी यंग एज, तो कभी आर्किटेक्चर, कभी लॉ ग्रेजुएशन, इस तरह से चल रहा है अभी. तो आर्किटेक्ट करना है या लॉ ग्रेजुएशन करनी है. होपफुली इंशाल्लाह ऑल गोज बेटर.
वो तो है सर, जितना बच्चे बेहतर समझते हैं.
हाँ जी.
तो सर
वैसे भी
ये
आप वो हर प्रोफेशन में ना आप एक्सेल कर सकते हैं. अब
that's
बहुत फास्ट हो गए. जो हमने चेंजेस 40 इयर्स में देखी ने, आज के बच्चे वो 2 साल में वो चेंजेस देख रहे हैं.
बिल्कुल सर, सही बात है. तो सर ये टाइम किस तरह बैलेंस करती हैं अपनी स्टडीज और इनके दरमियान, मतलब, और शोफात का तो आई अंडरस्टैंड इट्स अ वेरी बिजी स्केड्यूल, इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट स्कूल टू कॉप अप विद इन
वेरी
टर्म्स ऑफ
बिजी भी है,
असाइनमेंट्स एंड
और
स्टफ.
इतना ज्यादा उनका होमवर्क होता है. होमवर्क भी बहुत होता है उनका, शीट्स वो करनी होती हैं. इसके बावजूद जो थोड़ा बहुत टाइम है, बेटा है जैसे, वो बेटा बाहर फुटबॉल खेल लिया, चले गए. ये फिर ज्यादातर घर पे रहती है. घर में फिर ये इसका एक ही ये काम है, ड्राइंग, पेंटिंग, बस इस तरह से. तो फिर हम इसको डिस्टर्ब भी नहीं करते. हमने कहा ठीक है, आप कंटिन्यू करें, तो इंशाल्लाह विल सपोर्ट.
अच्छा अच्छा, ग्रेट सर.
तुम्हें इस पे ज्यादा टाइम लगेगा?
Yeah, because it's oil painting. So whenever.
कुछ और आईज बना दे, लिप्स बना दे,
No, I
ताकि
have to do the skin first.
स्किन फर्स्ट करते हैं.
Yeah,
It will
no,
take more
I
time.
personally do the skin first.
So Fakhima, approximately how much time will it take to complete?
It usually takes like days, so whenever you want
नहीं
to.
नहीं, इतना लंबा नहीं करना.
Okay, okay. So I think
ऐसा
Fakhima, if
तो
you
हम
can,
वो साथ साथ डिस्कशन करते हैं, ये चलता रहेगा. लेकिन ये सारा नहीं करेंगा, बस
Yeah, I'm just
थोड़ा
gonna
सा
do
फीमा
half
कर
of
दे.
the face.
so okay, so Fakhima, just complete a piece of it, and we'll show it, and then we will post the picture once you complete it later on. That's fine. We'll not take full time. I understand that it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. So आपकी जब ये पेंटिंग कंप्लीट हो जाएगी तो प्लीज आप मुझे सेंड करिएगा, ये मैं लाजमी सबको पोस्ट करके दिखा भी दूंगा. That also.
You will give to Anka. She has been sending gifts to her friends. Some of her friends moved to America, and they especially took her painting. कुछ इसकी friends वापस इजिप्ट गई इधर से, जैसे उनके पेरेंट्स इजिप्ट वापस गए तो वो भी पेंटिंग इसकी लेके गई. पाकिस्तान में भी मैंने अपने ऑफिस में भी इसकी पेंटिंग एक लगाई हुई है. तो यानी कि हम एनकरेज कर रहे हैं कि ठीक है, ये एक अच्छा हॉबी है तो ठीक है.
No, it's great, and अभी इनका हाथ भी बता रहा है कि it's very clean hands in terms of doing this stuff. So Fakhima, your siblings, do they disturb you while doing these paintings, or
Not that much.
not that much?
Not that much.
So how many
I
brothers and
usually have
sisters you have?
on, so they don't disturb me.
Mm-hmm. So how many brothers and sisters you have? Like,
I have one brother.
one brother. He's elder than you or younger than you?
He's 3 years older than me.
3 years older than you. Okay, then you can couple with him. He will be more happy to be outside playing and doing some stuff else.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Fakhima, you can complete it later and post the picture with us. Yeah, yeah. Can you just show a close up so we can do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, viewers, this is what she was doing. Once it will complete, then definitely हम लोग post कर देंगे दोबारा आप सबके लिए. I understand कि it takes a lot of time and we cannot complete it in a single sitting, and it will be very difficult for you all to watch the complete painting being done as well. So Fakhima, once you complete, please आप हमारे से share करिएगा, हम अपने तमाम viewers के साथ share भी करेंगे, and I really appreciate your hard work. By the way, do you want to give any message to the youngsters, your people of your age, like who are into teens and stuff, and you want to tell them how they can adopt this artistic life?
Anybody can do it. It doesn't. It's not like a natural given talent. If you put enough like skill and passion into it, then anybody can do it.
That's great. That's great. So can you have a camera on yourself instead of the painting now, so that we can have an ending note? So, Fakhima, so you say that it's something which everybody can learn. Are you really sure about that? Because trust me, I tried to learn a lot. I had a very special teacher back in Cherat in Pakistan, and he was one of the best painters for the Pakistan Army. And literally, he failed to taught me to make straight lines even. So it's not something that you can just learn it.
If you focus hard enough on it, then you can learn.
Okay.
It's all about focus and how committed you are to it.
That's great. Okay, Fakhima, thanks a lot for your time. I really appreciate your efforts, and we'll be waiting for your painting. Once it is completed, do post with us. And all the members, thank you very much for watching. And please, please, please do appreciate and give your comments to Fakhima in the comment section down, because literally a 13 years old girl with so many wonders, such a beautiful paintings, the people who know art, it's not an easy job to do. Seriously, बहुत मुश्किल काम है. जितनी सफाई से जितने अच्छे तरीके से उन्हें पेंटिंग्स की, और हर पेंटिंग के पीछे एक थॉट होती है. अब ये सोचें कि 13 साल की बच्ची ने ये सोचा भी कैसे कि वो किस तरह एक हिस्टोरिकल क्वीन की पिक्चर या एक किसी प्रिंसेस की पिक्चर, किसी लड़की को लेवेंडर के फील्ड के अंदर, तो ये सब एक पूरा आर्टिस्टिक टच है. Fakhima, being very humble, she says that anybody can learn, but trust me, it's not that easy to learn, and it's a natural talent which she had. So thanks a lot, Fakhima. We wish you all the best for your future. We pray that you will excel a lot in the field of arts, and if you want to be a lawyer, definitely we see you being a very good lawyer in the future as well. और आप सबको प्लीज थैंक यू वेरी मच। और आपके लिए एक मैसेज है फहीमा, जिशान शेख है हमारे ग्रुप के एक मेंबर हैं, वो कह रहे हैं कि आप पिरामिड बना के दिखाएं कभी हमें,
Pyramid.
or group Egyptian pyramids and share it in the group as a landscape. That's what the recommendation is. So we'll see that when you will do that. और तमाम group members please अपना बहुत बहुत ख्याल रखिएगा and take care. Assalamu alaikum and have a good night. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.